It's the Line Makers on Sporting News.
If you're a horse racing fan, other than the Triple Crown, it doesn't get better than this. It's the Breeders' Cup. We talked about it with our good friend Lou D'Amico last week. 28 years ago, the fun got started. It's a different animal these days, Lou. It's a monster two-day event now, with the fillies getting their opportunity to shine on Friday.
They certainly do, Brian. It's a two-day festival here in Las Vegas, and the fillies do shine on Friday. And of course, the star of Friday, of course, is Royal Delta, and we'll talk about her a little bit later.
Yeah, we'll have a preview on the Ladies Classic, kind of a standalone piece for you. Let's do an overview of some of the key races that will be contested on Friday. But before we start and get into specifics, the one thing we should note, Lou, the dirt races are on dirt. This is a different animal than it's been when it was at Santa Anita previously. It is not poly-track, which mirrors the turf surface. In many instances, you can almost eliminate the European runners on the main track dirt.
Yes, I agree with you, Brian, on the dirt. This is a dirt track right now. It's not that poly or the way they had it in the years past, but the Europeans might surprise us this year, Brian. You know, they might adjust to this dirt, so we'll have to wait and see.
One race on the dirt that I think they may have their best chance is the marathon. It's a quirky kind of event. It's a monster field of 14, 1.75 miles they travel. Just a bizarre distance. And the unique aspect of this race, Lou, you look at some of these horses, older horses with 40, 50 races on their resume. It's a different animal that's running here.
Absolutely, and this is really a fun race to watch because it is a marathon. And I like a horse in here, Brian. I really and truly do, and you know the trainer, and it is Aidan O'Brien. He brings horses to this country. He has them ready, and he has one that I believe is ready in Fame and Glory. I think has a big shot. This horse has won 14 times over in Europe and has banked over $2 million. I think he'll be ready and cranked up for this marathon.
Some of the other contenders in this race, you've got Adigan, and this is how open this race is. The morning line favorite, lukewarm at 9-2, with 4 Grade 1 races coming into this. And this is a younger horse, lightly raced, taking, I think, a huge step up.
I think it is, and you're exactly right, Brian. This is probably one of the best races as far as value. And Brian and I, we always look for value. When you have a favorite that's only at 9-2, we are betting against that favorite.
Some of the others, and they're not huge prices, but not abroad at 5-1. And Jaycedo, we know the name, it's a Bob Baffert horse, but I think legitimate question marks about getting this distance.
I think so. Jaycedo, I'd be very, very surprised if this horse can go this distance. So I'm throwing him out in my selections.
All right, some of the other key races we'll profile for you on Friday's card. Let's do a couple of the main turf races. One other footnote, Fast and Firm. The weather is great in Southern California. A lot of these European runners love the yielding course, and that's where the prices lie, Lou, and I know you've identified them over the years. A lot of times the horses come in that are the favorites in the race, run big with moisture and a track that has give to it, and that's where the other Europeans step up at big prices. They relish the firm turf course that they never get a chance to run on, and they're kind of under the radar.
They're under the radar, and you should really be looking for them as they do come over here and run, because like Brian says, they're running on those yielding tracks over there in Europe, sloppy tracks, muddy tracks. When they get here to California, it is firm and fast, and these horses run very fast.
All right, I'll throw a couple at you real quick in this race. You've got Rita Senior coming off a dominant Grade 1 win at Longchamp. That one's at 4-1. Now, Rain, anything Frankie Dettori's on, and he doesn't race as many races as he used to. Won the Flower Bowl, I take a peek there. But I love the North America runner. I think Garrett Gomez, marketing mix. Horse for the Course has won one race here, one race over Santa Anita, won it impressively.
Very impressive, and Garrett Gomez knows this racetrack. But Brian, I got to give the Europeans a big shot in this race. They run very, very well.
At a price, you got a price play?
Well, I'm looking at.
You're looking up, aren't you?
I'm looking at up at 12-1. I think the price is right. I look for value in all these races, and I think up stands a very, very big chance to win this race.
All right, one more for you. And then, of course, we'll come back and do a piece on its own on the Ladies Classic. But the Juvenile Fillies Turf, this is a really interesting race. And this is a hodgepodge, Lou. You got a Canadian-based horse, 3 for 3. That's Spring Venture. Patrick Husbands knows how to boot them home. 2 for 2 in North America, also having run in Europe, is What's the Chances. And then Skylander's the 3-1 favorite. This one, 3 for 5, comes off a Grade 1 win. But how about a price play? Horse for the course or a jockey for the course? How about Rafael Bejarano aboard Kitten's Point at 12-1?
The price is right, Ryan, but I'm looking at another price. Todd Pletcher's horse, Tara from the Cape at 12-1. This horse is working out phenomenally at Santa Anita. 4 furlongs and 48 3/5. I like this horse, Brian.
As we wrap it up, that tells you something, doesn't it? How tough and how wide open these races are when you get a top flight Todd Pletcher horse at 12-1.
Price is right at 12-1, and I like it. I call it a Drew Carey for the Price is Right.
Yeah, Lou D'Amico, the Price is Right. He's behind door 1, 2, and 3 as we look to get you in the winner's circle at the Breeders' Cup, and we'll have more previews for you. Peruse around the line makers on Sporting News.